Welcome to ChaiT with Dr. D. Environmental health is a reflection of the individual's health.
Floods, fires, typhoons, climate change, plastic chemicals and toxins. Can we do something about it?
That's the question Shivani Raina Ghosh asked herself. Media and brand consultant, mother, and blogger who writes on the blog post Nargis Blooms took the initiative to make a change.
Let's hear it from Shivani.
Hi, thanks, Kathy. Thanks, Dr. D. Yes, this question came to my mind, especially when I started my relationship with Dr. D. I had a severe chest and throat allergy, which had been around for almost a year and a half. I had done a few treatments of various kinds and not really found much change. With Dr. Divya, I got she really asked me to observe what was it that I was consuming, not only eating, but, what was around me that was part of my day. And it was a really strong moment of awakening and realization when I listed down various chemical products that by choice and by spending lots of money, I was incorporating in my day. And as I started to, of course, wean myself off, and that was really a part of my getting better. However, I got well, and there came a time when I had to sort of find a way that I could still keep my family and my environment clean and, fragrant and healthy and happy, and yet not have chemicals around. And that's where actually I started to read up a lot, and I'm sure Kathy and Dr. D are aware of the various harmful effects of these chemicals, not just in our body, but what goes into the whether it's the water system or the people around us. So maybe Kathy and Dr. D, you can share a little bit more on that.
Yeah, sure. No, we have found that, obviously all your toxins and chemicals that you use go down into your sewage system, and ultimately it is ending up in our seas, in our oceans, and that is where our biodiversity, like our plants, our aquatic animals, all of these are being affected by these. So it is, yes, very harmful for our environment as well, which we do not think of it well for our own convenience.
We're also using these chemicals like Lysol and stuff as disinfectants to kind of clean away the bacteria. Now, actually, they found that these bacteria mutate and actually become stronger, more resistant to antibiotics, etc., or medication, thus making us get even more stronger infections as time goes by. So not only is it just our individual allergies, which is very important, not only is it the microbiomes of the environment, but also what kind of bacteria are we creating? What kind of mutant species are we creating in our environment for our children and grandchildren?
Absolutely. I mean, yeah. And I think the more one researches on it, the more one becomes, I would say, ready and determined, that what can I do? So in fact, I did a little bit of volunteering with the beach cleanup processes, and you can really see the damage that we are doing to the environment, not just with littering, but even otherwise, the pollutants in the sea, which is going into the fish and everything else that we're consuming. I think the cycle is more of harm to ourselves and nature around us. And that cycle we have to break. We have to break that cycle.
It's inspiring to go to the beach cleaning things in the morning. Yeah. That's something Khyati actually introduced us. And you see all these, young people and older people and everybody just waking up on a Sunday morning to pick up all that dirty garbage. Very, very inspiring. And it makes us feel that a change is possible.
Yeah. I think when I saw all of them and, kept reading and studying more, and as I regained my health back, I really decided to start creating bioenzymes on my own. And it started off just as a conversation with a colleague at work, and she had just started it, and she said, "Itna mushkil nahi hai, kar le tu." So I said, "Acha, theek hai. Let's give it a try." And fortunately, I'm Bombay based, and at that time, we have so much citrus. We have such a abundant, fruit and availability in our country. And so that's where I started my journey of creating bioenzymes.
So what I understand is, meaning you tried to use these citrus and things to create chemicals, bioenzymes to replace our cleaning agents,
Absolutely.
disinfectant, and the cleaning agents that we use for bathrooms and houses, etc. Is that it?
Yes, absolutely. So, of course, there are many kinds of bioenzymes, but the ones I began with are made out of citrus peels. And there's a process, and we'll go through the process slightly later. But it basically just creates an organic liquid which has very good quality, which remove dirt, which remove insecticides. And I have to really work with my house help to accept it, because we are so used to phenyl dal do, Lysol dal do, or saban se ragdo and all. It's conversations that have been had for so long, and it's practice. So we have to break that. And in fact, today in the morning, I was telling, because I'm now making a utensil cleaning liquid wherein I've added soap nut powder in the bioenzyme.
Is that Rita?
Yes,
that stable?
yes, yes. So in fact, of course, it's available, on Amazon. But I was speaking to a lady who's running an NGO in Uttarakhand, and just to be able to convert Rita, because of the way it is, to soap nut, it's a great breakthrough. And I was trying to convince my cleaning lady, the one who was washing the bartans, because there's no jhag. So she said, "Nahi didi, saaf nahi ho raha." So I said, "Karo 2-3 baar, phir aap dekhna." I do, of course, wash it myself so that I'm not, I know what I'm talking about. So then the other one saying, "Nahi, bade achhe saaf hote hain, tu try kar." So I think the conversation to break our practices, which have gotten embedded, I would say, in the last 30 years, the way we are very used to, very high fragrant, high chemical. And I remember, Dr. D, you had said to me that if anything needs, like I said, clothes softener gives me an allergy. And you had said, if anything needs to be so strong, can you imagine how much chemical is there in it? You may not remember. So this is almost, 8 years ago. And I've never forgotten it. It stayed in my mind. And, so of course, now I found that you can even wash your clothes with Rita. There are ways to, you can use the soap nut itself to just wash your clothes. It's not like our clothes get so dirty. So yeah, there is, we can break our patterns, and small, I actually haven't bought Lysol for 3 years or 4 years. So
we are very excited to see the process, so we can quickly start putting that into action.
Absolutely. Yes, let's do that.
Okay, so let's watch it.
Hi, it's sweet lime season, and I've saved up a lot of the peels from my juicing, and I'm going to cut them into very, very small pieces. So here goes. So I'm just going to show how small, just for demonstration purposes. So really cut them as tiny as you can. I've cut my sweet lime into very tiny pieces, and I'm going to fill this 5-liter jar, which I'm reusing, with all the sweet lime here. So I have about 1 kg of sweet lime, and I'm just going to short track the process. I'll fill it later, but I'm going to go with half a cup of jaggery. So this is, let me remove this. This is regular jaggery which we have at home. I've just broken it up into small pieces. So this jaggery will go into my bottle. So I think some people had a question that will this jaggery, lead to ants? I've been making it for so long. I think I've never had an ant issue. So as long as I clean the space carefully, once I'm done, and I clean it with the bioenzyme, I don't have an issue of ants. And I'm going to use, to speed up the fermentation process, I'm going to add 1 heaped tablespoon of yeast. So this is just this I bought in the market. It's just an instant dry yeast that bakers use. And I'm going to now top this up till here with water. Okay, so this is my 1 kg of sweet lime peel pieces cut into very, very tiny pieces, half a cup of jaggery, and 1 heaped tablespoon of dry yeast. And I'm now going to fill this jar with water. And I will leave, I'll not fill it to the brim, I'll leave some space so that when the fermentation process starts, there's a space for the gases to do their job and to then, I can release the gases. So that's the jar and I'm shutting it tight. I have labels here and I'm going to put today's date on it. So that I kind of have an idea that in the next 2 months, this will be ready. So this is a batch I had made in July 22. And just to bring it closer, you can see that the peels are decomposing. And so maybe once a week, I stir them up and wait and give it a little bit more time to become a bioenzyme. And this is a slightly older batch, something I made in June. So you can see that the peels have really reduced and a clear liquid is forming on the top. I hope you could hear the gas coming out. And here I don't need to do much except really shake it up, maybe release the gases once more, and another month, maybe it should be ready. And the final product will look like this. And your bioenzyme is ready, chemical free, to really take away any, dirt, insecticide issues that you have. Enjoy.
Wow, that was really simple to do. And I am sure that all of us are also going to try this out at home. Though actually my mom, I just realized that my mom kind of does this process where she just uses the nimbu chilka and then she just puts it in water and keeps it for a long time and just, cleanses the sink with it. And I think I've been doing this like in restaurants, like a lot of Indian restaurants, where you go and at the end of the meal, they give you those bowl with hot water and the nimbu with it. So I think it's something that we have been seeing and seeing all along, but not really used it in our other places in our lives. So I think this is a really good thing and we can definitely try this out. So thank you so much for sharing it with us.
And
Absolutely.
that yeast that is used, it is simple normal yeast. Is there any particular yeast?
Yes, actually, I just get like a dry yeast from the market.
Okay.
I am exploring a little about organic yeast now.
Okay.
And I think it just speeds up the fermentation. It just speeds up the breakdown of the peel. That's all it does. So I think your mom is on 90% there.
That's good.
So you can just tell her इसमें थोड़ा सा और and then we'll have this. But I think for me as a homemaker, I'd really like my kitchen to contribute as much of the waste of the kitchen to contribute now, and of course not have a chemical effect on the environment. That is my journey going to be the next few steps. So yeah, thank you so much for calling me today.
Thank you for joining us, and we hope we will continue further such conversations on environmental health, individual health, and women's health, which is another topic I would like one day to discuss with you on ChaiT with Dr. D. So thank you, Shivani, Khyati, and myself. See you again on ChaiT with Dr. D.
Thank you.
Bye.